for those of you who missed the nightly Donald Trump telecast from the O'Reilly show, here's last night's.
More than 80 million people watched the debate in the USA alone, and joining us now from Wisconsin is Donald Trump. Well, first of all, is there anything Hillary Clinton said in the debate that you will use, your campaign will use against her in the weeks ahead?
Well, I think possibly so, Bill, but I do think that, you know, I really loved the experience of it. It was amazing. I saw the audience was record-setting, and I had a great time. And I know you say the polls weren't scientific, but every single poll that was taken, I won.
Yeah, every single non-scientific poll that was taken, you won, but the scientific polls that were taken, you lost. And if you thought everything was great, why were you crying your eyes out about the mics, about Lester Holt, about all the hard questions you got asked, etc.?
The debate, and some of them by a lot, and Google just came out with the first real poll, and it was a big one. And
Google didn't come out with the first real poll. CNN came out with the first real poll, and it showed that you lost that debate by 25 points. A subsequent scientific poll came out that showed that you lost the debate by 15 points. So those were the two first real polls.
And I'm up by 2 or 3 points, so that was pretty
All
good,
right, well,
I think.
we'll see. You know, they'll stream in the scientific polls. But what I was getting at, though, is there something that Hillary Clinton said during the 90 minutes that has stuck in your mind? It's something that, you know what, we're going to use that. We're going to come after her on that. Anything like that?
I think there is, and I'll tell you what really happened during the debate that was very interesting to me. I saw when she's talking about what she's going to do and how she's going to do it and all of this, I realized she's been doing this for 26 to 30 years. And
no, Donald, actually, she's been doing it for 16 years. 6 and 6, 12 in the Senate, and 4 as the Secretary of State. So my math says 16, not 26 to 30. You don't count the time when she was First Lady of the First Lady of the President of the United States. That's another 8. You don't count that, and you don't count the time she was First Lady of Arkansas. That doesn't count.
nothing ever gets done. Even when she went to the United States Senate representing New York, she said she was going to bring jobs back to New York, and it was a disaster. Upstate New York is a total disaster. But as she was talking about the various things, and I started to say, wait a minute, Hillary, you've been there for 26 years, and you haven't done it. Why all of a sudden are you going to do it? You're not going to do it. It's just you're going to get votes, and then after the votes, it's going to be see you later. I'll see you in 4 years or whatever. But that hit me during the debate, I think, more than any other time.
Okay.
Whether it's health care or child care or any of the things that she talks about, Bill, it's not going to happen, okay? It's just not going to happen.
Now,
these people talk. I mean, her in particular, she talks and nothing gets done,
okay,
unless it's for her or her donors.
When she was senator of New York, you were friendly with her, though. She and her husband went to your wedding. We look back, you weren't real critical of Hillary Clinton at the time. Did you think she was doing a good job back then?
Bill, I was a businessman. I was all over the world. I was doing great. And frankly, I got along with all politicians. It was my job to get along with politicians. I didn't go around criticizing very many of them, almost none of them.
He's spinning. He actually said she did a great job as a senator from New York. And he and Bill Clinton were pretty tight because both of them were running around cheating on their wives. So he even said that Bill should never have been impeached, and the transgressions were really a minor issue. So now that he's running, all of a sudden it's the worst. It's the worst thing in the world. Bill's transgressions, whereas your own transgressions, Mr. Trump, those were humiliating for your first wife. They were unforgivable. How your sons can even look you in the face and not want to punch you in the face for, denigrating their mother, I'll never understand.
Because when you're a businessman, you have to get along with the politicians, both Democrats and I get along with everybody.
But in your secret mind,
I get along with the Republicans.
In your secret mind, did you go, she's screwing up, she's not doing anything back then when she was senator?
Well, I didn't focus on it. Like, today I focus on this. I don't even think about my business. I built a great company, a phenomenal company. I don't even think.
Oh, God. Here we go with I built a great company, a top-notch company, blah, 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 blah. I get so tired of hearing about his company, and I know he's got to throw in somewhere the fact that he went to the Wharton School of Business. That's got to be coming sooner or later.
Think about it. The kids are running it with executives. And, I don't think about it. Now, I think about it. But I always got along with politicians. It was a very important aspect of my business.
And those of us who know Manhattan know that's true. Now, they're going to come after you, they being the Clinton campaign, on the statement that you made that you were smart for paying as few taxes as you could possibly pay. You know that's going to be in the next debate. It's going to be on campaign ads. Do you have any defense for that right now?
Yeah, the defense would be to show us your income taxes. Short of that, you don't have a defense. Unless you lie, which you're going to do right now.
No, I didn't say that. What she said is maybe you paid no taxes. I said, well, that would make me very smart.
Right.
And I have to tell you something. Tax is a big expense. And I would mind paying taxes a lot less if our politicians knew how to spend the money, but they don't. They waste the money. I mean, they don't know what they're doing with the money. In some cases they do when they have bad motives. But they basically don't know what they're doing, Bill, with the money. And whether it goes into the Middle East, I see the other day a report come out, $6 trillion, $6 trillion spent on the Middle East. We could have rebuilt our country twice. And $6 trillion was spent on the Middle East. And where are we? Go back 15 years. If we did nothing, we'd be in much better shape.
Yeah, but Donald, you got to blame that one on your buddy Bush. He was the one that got us into both those wars.
I'm Hillary Clinton in the next debate, and I say to you what she said yesterday in North Carolina. Hey, if he's not going to pay any taxes and he thinks that's smart, what does that make us? We pay taxes. Are we stupid? How are you going to answer that?
Well, first of all, I never said I didn't pay taxes. She said, maybe you didn't pay taxes.
Right.
And I said, well, that would make me smart because tax is a big payment. But I think a lot of people say that's the kind of thinking that I want running this nation. Okay. Because you look at the way our country is running we lose $800 billion a year on trade deals with the world. 800.
No, they don't think that way, Donald. Most people think that rich people should pay their taxes, and if they cheat or maneuver and pay zero in taxes, they believe that that's being unpatriotic.
$1 billion a year, Bill. Who makes these deals? So I think a lot of people actually, I had two groups. Some people loved that statement and other people didn't. But the fact is that I think people are looking at it like maybe that's the kind of person we need. Hey, look, I built a great company.
A shrewd businessman.
I have a tremendous, I have a tremendous record in business. And to be honest with you, but I think that's the kind of thinking we need in our country.
Okay. Now, the other avenue they're going to come after you is the women card, all right? And they're going to say that you're a mean guy and you don't respect women. Do you have anything further to say on this Miss Universe thing?
No, not much. I mean, look, I hardly know this person. This is a person 20 years ago. She wasn't a successful, I sold the Miss Universe contest at for a tremendous price about, 6 months ago. Worked out great. So I don't have anything to do with it anymore, but I really enjoyed it when I had it. But this is a person, Bill, that was the first one under my ownership. She did not do well. She had a lot of difficulties, and they wanted to fire her. The company itself wanted to fire her. I saved her job. I'll bet you if you put up and added up all the time I spoke to her, it was probably less than 5 minutes. I mean, I had nothing to do with this person, but they wanted to fire her. I saved her job because I said that's going to be ruinous. And I've done that with a number of the young ladies where I saved their job, but the staff itself. And you know what happened? Look what I get out of it. I get nothing. So a lot of things are coming out about her. I'm not going to say anything. I couldn't care less. But It's somebody I don't know certainly very well. I saved her job because they wanted to fire her for putting on so much weight, and it is a beauty contest. You know, I mean, say what you want, Bill. I mean, they know what they're getting into. It's a beauty contest, and I said, don't do that. Let her try and lose the weight. Can you imagine I end up in a position like this? So that's the way it is. I really just don't know her.
Do you?
I can't believe he just tripled down. He doubled down on Fox and Friends yesterday morning, and now he's tripling down on the O'Reilly show. This guy just doesn't think.
Think that was a cheap shot by Secretary Clinton to bring that up?
Well, I think it was, and now a lot of things are coming out that I wasn't aware of, like they say that she threatened the life of a judge, and they got involved in all sorts of problems, and some reports just came out 20 minutes ago about her. And, you know, I mean, if that turns out to be true, a lot of the things that are turning out to be perhaps true, I think it's going to make Hillary look extremely bad. But again, I helped somebody, and this is what you get for helping somebody, but I just don't know her.
Okay. Do you believe that you have to do better among women, American women, to win the election, or do you believe you have enough support now?
Well, I think I'm doing well, and I have been doing well with, especially with married women. You saw the numbers. I mean, they went way up. The Google just came out, and you know, it has me. It was the first big post-debate poll, and we're doing very well. And I think we're doing very well with married women. Now, don't forget, Hillary has spent over $200 million on ads against me. Many of those ads are false. They're vicious and they're false, and they are vicious, believe me. And with all of that, I guess I'm leading. Would you say I'm leading, or
I don't know. I'll know better on Friday if you're ahead or not. So I mean, we're just, you know, we're data people here. Now I'm going to hold you over.
Bill,
this is
you
a
have to
lot.
understand. Hey, Bill,
Yeah.
$200 million and more has been spent on me.
I understand.
And I'm spending very little.
You.
We're going to spend some good money, but I mean, you know, and by the way,
You barely have the money to spend. Now, fortunately, with the fundraising, you got some money to spend, but you basically lied when you said you were going to come out of your own pocket. And you let this woman spend $200 million and you're sitting there on your hands. But I guess it made sense because you're not that far behind and you really haven't spent a lot of money.
those ads are largely false. There's so many inaccuracies.
So if they're largely false, that means some of them are true. I'd love to know which ones you consider to be true.
Those ads, it's really
Now, sit tight.
a terrible thing.
Sit tight in Wisconsin. This is a live situation.
All right, so let's see what happens in the next round. All right, I think in this segment he starts off by talking about Lester Holt, which he said he was fine immediately after the debate, and then he started crying later on about Lester Holt asking him much tougher questions than he asked Secretary Clinton. Here we go.
Now, Donald Trump joins us from Wisconsin, where he's about to go on stage for a big rally. Now, I'm asking you to grade Lester Holt, the debate moderator. A is best, F is worst. You say?
Well, you know, when I first did it, I thought he was fine. I wasn't thinking about it. But when I reviewed it and when I saw all the commentary, because a lot of people thought he was terrible, and I looked at all of the commentary, I realized he was much, much tougher on me than he was on Hillary. It was like a day and night. I thought he was okay. I mean, look, I said good things right after the show. But after reviewing it and after seeing the way he, you know, badgered and even the questions I got, the first half of the show was great. And then he started, you know, he hits me with the birther question, of course. And he likes to correct things where I happen to be right. Like we talked about stop and frisk, and he was 100% wrong. But in the meantime, I had to go and prove the point. And it turned out
Lester Holt was 100% right.
That I was right. You know, I think that, to be honest with you, I think that he was fine, but I would also say, in reviewing it, I was disappointed in Hillary Clinton with the gold standard. Yeah, Hillary Clinton on the gold standard. He didn't go after her, even though she was wrong. Now, C. A C.
Okay. He interrupted you 41 times and interrupted Hillary Clinton 7 times.
I think he did.
That's more than I interrupt you, by the way. That's more than I do.
He was worse than you.
Yeah, and really, that's bad. All right, now I'm going to flip around. If you get elected, one of the things that you're going to have to do to make America great again is restore respect for the country, both overseas and here in America. You would agree with that, correct?
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, 100%.
Last night, Colin Kaepernick said another bad thing about his country. You're going to play it later on. He said bad stuff about you. You did own a professional football team. What would you do with Colin Kaepernick?
Well, I don't know what he said about me, but I think what he's doing is disgraceful. Is he starting yet, or is he still a second string?
He's a second string guy. But what would you do to him if you were the owner?
He's making a tremendous amount of money. He's making a tremendous amount of money. He's leading the American dream. He's trying to make a point, but I don't think he's making it the correct way. Personally, if it was me, I would not be happy if I were the team owner. And I don't think I'm going to tell you what I do.
Would you
I'll
fire him?
I would take a different position.
Would you fire him? Would you?
I wouldn't be happy. They're paying him all of this money, and I think what he's doing is very bad for the spirit of the country. At the same time, he has the right to protest, and that's one of the beautiful things about the country.
But does he have the right to protest on your dime? See, you're the owner. It's your stadium. All right, it's paying customers. It's your dime. This is right in your ballywick, okay? So he's protesting on your dime, doing something that offends you. Would you take action against him?
I tell you, it offends me, it does, especially since he's doing so well in terms of economically and so many other ways. I guess he probably lost his starting position because something happened to him. He went downhill fast, and frankly, that's okay. But I would not be a happy camper. I'm not going to tell you what I do, but if I was in that position, I'd do a lot different.
Unlike you,
no, I'm not. And you know what, Bill? If I'm in that position, I'd be a lot different than the way they're treating him right now. That I can tell you.
But it's not like you to not tell me what you would do. You usually let
Well, you know, let's keep the headlines down to a minimum.
All right. Charlotte, North Carolina, we're going to report right after you leave that the guy was shot dead, served 6 years in a Texas penitentiary for shooting another guy. That was not reported. I have said that the protests are fine. If you believe that the police are not fair to African Americans, you should protest. However, in individual cases, we should all wait until all the data comes in, all the facts are in. You agree with that, correct?
Yeah, I do. I always agree on waiting and trying to get the information before you make a judgment.
Then why did you...
Except in the Central Park 5 case, you didn't believe that waiting was necessary then when you took out 4 ads in the various New York papers calling for the death penalty to be reinstated to kill these 5 teenagers at the time, minors. Didn't want to wait then.
Then why did you not say to Hillary Clinton, hey, you jumped the gun by saying that this is deplorable, it's terrible, we have to solve this police problem? Why didn't you go after her on that?
I think when she said deplorable about a tremendous portion of our country, I think, and she said irredeemable also.
But stay on the cops, stay on Charlotte.
She did not say deplorable about a tremendous number of people in the country. She said deplorable about 50% of your supporters, and then she backed that down.
Why didn't you go after her about Charlotte? Why not?
Well, because I had many other things that I did go after, and a lot of people, you know, the whole evening was an interesting evening. A lot of people liked what I said about her, and frankly, it was pretty tough what I said about her. You can't hit every single point.
No, but you have the law and order canon.
You know, answer.
Right.
It's called answer in 30 seconds, but I thought her answer.
Donald, during that debate, you never answered anything in 30 seconds, more like 3 minutes or more.
Having to do with the police was very, very disrespectful to the police. She was petrified to talk about them in a positive way, and I thought, frankly, that was a disgrace.
I thought you were going to bring that out.
I think it was a very disrespectful. Well, I thought it was a very disrespectful answer to the police. There's no question about it. But you can only say so much in 22 seconds.
I got it, but I was surprised because the law and order...
Now we dropped it down from 30 seconds to 22 seconds.
...thing got into the stop and frisk, and I thought the cops are going to come up. The other thing I thought you were going to bring up with the law and order deal was the sanctuary cities. You could have put it right on the spot and said, hey, Are you for sanctuary city? What are you going to do?
Sure, we have to get rid of sanctuary cities. The sanctuary is for the criminals, and it's horrible what's going on with sanctuary cities. And if I'm elected, we will not be funding sanctuary cities. That I can tell you right now. But you're right. She's totally in favor of sanctuary cities. She's in favor of having thousands and thousands of people come in from the Middle East that we have no idea for the most part who they are. And you know you can't really more.
Yeah, I know. We got that stat. But anyway, you got 2 more shots. And she's got 2 more shots at you, and we always appreciate you coming on. We know you're busy going out to your rally right now, and to make time for us is very nice of you to do it. Thank you very much.
See, and that's the thing. All the things that he would have done, but he didn't do, and the only reason he's bringing these things up now is because O'Reilly's pulling them out of him. So practice and preparation definitely means something. When you don't do it, you can't get on TV and start crying about what you didn't do because you didn't practice.